Well, Arteta is considering the sale of Fabio Vieira. Story coming in through from one of the credible sources known as The Athletic. And what makes The Athletic very credible is that you have to pay it to see to it that you really be their subscriber to read their news, meaning that you can't really read their news for free. You have to obviously be a monthly subscriber, though it's £2 or £3 a month. That is really huge, and that means every story they put out, it has what we call a very good credible source. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. We are having a story coming in through from Ancelotti. Real Madrid plans to replace Toni Kroos. He has gone ahead and really give us a very good reply. And lastly, Barkley, Aston Villa, Unai Emery wants Barkley. The reasons have gone ahead to be given us by Fabrizio Romano. That's why we are coming in here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is concerned here onto the Rokani Media Football. Second video of the day. Hope you guys are in the mood like I am and you're enjoying everything to the fullest. And this is why we do the needful. And that's why we call in for 400 likes, smash on this video, and don't forget to obviously subscribe in here. Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. As I told you that we are left with 16 subscribers to hit the milestone of how much? The milestone of 21,200 subscribers. So I call upon for you people to continue to subscribe to see to it that we hit that milestone, and then see to it that we hit the mega number of 30,000 subscribers before the month of June comes to an end. And I would love us to obviously hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of this summer transfer window. That is my target, and I know we are gonna be really taking this. And I tell you, after this video, the next video you're gonna see here is gonna be a live stream. We are going to be live streaming and having a one-on-one chat with one another in here for you. Now, let's obviously extend our gratitude to the Lord and Allah for what they've gone ahead to do for us, for keeping us alive and really granting us opportunity to be having everything we do. Now, there is my friend who watches in from the western side of Kampala, Uganda, western side of the Pearl of Africa. I really I dedicate this video to the people watching down in the western part of Uganda, people in Rwanda, people in Burundi. I really dedicate this video to you, especially people in Rwanda that are really watching, people in Kabale, Tungamo, Rukunjiri, those sites in there for you. I really dedicate this video to you, and thank you guys for obviously watching it through. Now, The Athletic have gone ahead and really put out a story that I felt like I cannot really go any further without coming here to see to it that we really have a chat about it. Mikel Arteta is considering selling £35 million midfielder Fabio Vieira this summer after becoming concerned at his performance in Arsenal training sessions. Now, Fabio Vieira was the second, I think was the first signing of Arsenal in the summer of 2022, right? First signing, and he costed Arsenal £35 million from FC Porto, right? His signing came in as a surprise to many because we never had a story coming in through from any of the first, second, third, fourth, or sixth tier journalists on Arsenal's interest in him. No story was aired in the mainstream concerning this guy known as Fabio Vieira, and I was like, why is it the case? And I was really shocked when I really found out that it really went that side, and I was like, no way, it should really go this side. So it was a shocking transfer. Arsenal did everything under the carpet. No one got to know about that, and to my understanding, it was like, oh my god, is it really the case? And obviously it was the case, and I was really very much excited on what Arsenal had to do. And he is one of those players that when he was coming in through at Arsenal, he was being described as the next Bernardo Silva. Obviously, when you see his style of play, he's a very good player, but he has been struggling with injuries ever since he came in through at Arsenal. And for the previous season, the injuries went ahead to worsen, and his game time has gone ahead obviously reduced. He was brought in through to see to it that he competes with Martin Odegaard, but Martin Odegaard has gone ahead obviously raised the bar, and this guy is just really diminishing the bar, and that's why Mikel Arteta feels like this guy shouldn't come anywhere near his side. I tell you, with the competition coming in throughout Arsenal, this guy doesn't deserve to be here. And if at all I'm Arsenal, I cannot sell him right now. What I do is that I tell him, I'm going to give you a loan to one of the Premier League clubs. I tell you, you get Fabio Vieira, you give him to teams like Brighton, give him to teams like Newcastle, give him to teams in Spain like Real Sociedad, teams like which other teams in Barcelona can really get out what he wants? Girona. I tell you, he can cost 60 million euros next summer. All he needs is ample playing time to obviously get where he's supposed to be. I've gone ahead to be one of those people that have been evident of what match fitness means. Amrabat has not been playing for very many games, but the last 4 games against Arsenal, against Newcastle, against Brighton, and the one we won against Man City to lift the FA Cup yesterday, he has been really prominent. In his second game he played, he said, I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be because I've only gone here to play only 180 minutes. Those are 2 matches. And you saw to it that every time he's being given game time, he's turning into a proper player. That is Sofian Amrabat for you. So, Fabio Vieira for me, I wouldn't really fancy him to be sold. I would prefer Arsenal to come out and really find out a better team that can really give him enough playing time for us not to really make huge profit. Because if they want to sell him for £35 million, yet they bought him for £35 million, I don't think it makes sense. I think if at all Fabio Vieira gets into a better team, maybe Borussia Dortmund, you can even send him to where Xabi Alonso is in Bayer Leverkusen to reunite with Xavi, with Granit Xhaka. He can come in through and really give you more of what you really want from a player like him. So that's what my thought is all about for Fabio Vieira. I don't know what most of you are really thinking about it, but most of you are asking yourselves, why is it that Fabio Vieira is being shown the exit door? I want to borrow some of the words of Omar Berrada, the former boss of Mikel Arteta at Man City, who is now the CEO of Manchester United. Omar Berrada told us that for any player to play 2 seasons at the club and doesn't really show promising signs, he sells him off because he believes he is not part of the plan and will never get into the mix. So, Omar Berrada might have gone ahead to sell the same belief to Mikel Arteta, the manager of Arsenal, and he might be one of the disciples to that law or to that statement that he usually made, and Arteta will be like, Fabio Vieira cannot get into the team of Arsenal. You get, because Arsenal is going to come out and really put in or add another midfielder. If Arsenal add another midfielder into that team, that obviously takes Fabio Vieira's pecking order to another downward level, and he's not going to get in ample playing time. Unless otherwise, Arsenal this time round get themselves into the FA Cup, Carabao Cup in the further stages. But Fabio Vieira, he has gone here to disappoint a lot. I don't know whether Arsenal will give him another season to see to it that he does the needful because of his age. He's really young, and when you look at his age, you might think that maybe he still has a lot to go. On the 30th of this month, he's going to be making 24 years of age, and 24, 2 years to his prime. Can Arsenal sell him or loan him? I leave that up to you. Last season he played 22 games, 1 goal and 2 assists. This season he has played 11 games, 1 goal and 2 assists, and meaning that with injuries disturbing him, you understand, and Arsenal going in for better players, I think Mikel Arteta is spot on, because they might need his money to obviously bolster their summer transfer targets. I tell you, if Bruno Guimaraes comes into that midfield of Arsenal, you just have to get to know that it's going to be Bruno Guimaraes, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. And sometimes when Mikel Arteta will be like, I would love to obviously bench Odegaard a little bit, do you know what will be happening? Mikel Arteta will go for Kai Havertz to play into that Martin Odegaard role, the number 10 role. You understand? And Martin Odegaard is a player who is really not very injured, and he can play 95% of the games and is the captain of the team, meaning that if you are competing with the captain of the team, you need to be offering something special, something that Fabio Vieira hasn't gone ahead to offer. Last season, we saw to it that he had some 6 games where he went ahead to obviously play very well, and every Arsenal fan was like, why isn't Fabio Vieira starting? You understand? But this time around, the previous season that Arsenal is going to hit to have has been very disappointing for Fabio Vieira. So we just wait to see how Fabio Vieira is going to go on. But the fact has unknown to really hinging onto his side, and Mikel Arteta is willing to move him on. And I think it's going to be an anonymous decision by the side of Arsenal to obviously see to it that this man is moved on for their manager to obviously get the best of the best. Because right now, Arsenal don't need players that are not going to be available. That's why I was doing a story and I warned Fabio Jesus that I see the next coming season as the last season for him at Arsenal if he doesn't really put in what we call a very huge shift. He has to put in a shift at a huge level as a player who goes by the names of Jesus. The moment he doesn't keep fit, he's going to be sold. He'll be put onto the market as soon as possible. I tell you this. So, we are waiting to see how that pans out, but I'm one of those people that have come to tell you that Fabio Vieira, I would rather loan him such that Arsenal makes more money. But it will depend on the budget of Arsenal and how they want to obviously reduce the wage bill. If Arsenal believe that by selling Fabio Vieira, they'll obviously get in a player who can really earn the salary that he wants, or maybe times 2, alright, that will be good business for them, and they've shown us that they're going to have to do business that is really good. So that is Fabio Vieira for you, and I don't know what your thoughts are about that deal, but Arteta is considering the sale of Fabio Vieira, and I know it's really going to be hard for him to stay at the club of Arsenal because he won't have enough playing time. Him and Emery Smith-Rowe are really in danger. And for Emery Smith-Rowe, I'm having a huge update coming in through from Fabrizio Romano. I think it's going to be one of the next stories I'm going to be here to tackle here with you. Let's go to Aston Villa, a team that really put Arsenal off the trophy by beating them by 2-0. And Fabrizio Romano has told us that Unai Emery wants Ross Barkley at Aston Villa, and he's convinced could be quality addition to his midfield. Villa are confident to get it done with their manager pushing for it. Now, I've already gone ahead to put out these stories about this guy being linked to the side of Aston Villa. You know what he brings. He can play as a number 8. That is a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as a number 10. He can play as a left forward. He can play as a right forward. That is how good this player has gone ahead to be and has gone ahead to become. To really show you how good and special this guy is, you look at his season at Luton Town. He was really good. And the downfall of him was his decision to go to Chelsea, and Luton Town has gone ahead to give him space to obviously get himself up and running into the season. To see that a team that is going to be playing the Champions League is going to be needing him. Unai Emery loves the player, but I think would have gone ahead to get in a player of a higher profile than this. But the problem is they don't have money to cash in for this player. That is it. They don't have it. So they have to really look around to really gather players, because they know if they go further into the Champions League, like get out of the group stages and get to the next round, they stand a chance to get in more money that will help them in the next summer transfer window. That's why they're looking in for cheaper options around. And Ross Barkley has gone ahead to tick the box of that player that has the Champions League experience, and he is really not gonna come out to obviously let them down because of his qualities that we saw way back to Everton and have been gone ahead to be resurrected by Luton Town, a team that has been relegated. And he's one of those players that has been linked to clubs like Manchester United and very many others, meaning that very many other clubs are really looking at Ross Barkley as a reinforcement into their midfield. And Villa looks like they're the team set to win this race in there for you. Now, after Ross Barkley, we are having a question that was posed to the manager of Real Madrid as they went ahead to play their last game at Santiago Bernabeu. Ancelotti on Real Madrid plans to sign replacement for Toni Kroos. He said it's very difficult to find a player with his qualities. Real keep monitoring Franco Mastantuono from River Plate as a talent for the future. That is Fabrizio Romano for you. Now, he says it's very hard to find a player with his qualities. Yeah. I think the statement is really half-baked. Very many players have the qualities of Toni Kroos, but to exercise them on the field of play is another assignment. And to keep doing them on a consistent level is really another assignment. Now, for the side of Real Madrid, I would like to let you know that they can get those players. But how consistent can those players play and foot the boots for Toni Kroos? That's why I've gone ahead to see many articles insinuating that or suggesting that it's going to be Jude Bellingham dropping deep to play in the double pivot with Tchouaméni into that midfield position where Toni Kroos has been playing. And by the way, I think Jude Bellingham can serve that purpose. He's talented. He really has that physicality. He can score goals and he can obviously shoot from the far. You know, he can also really create assists. That is this guy. And I tell you what, he's one of those that you'll always want to look at and really give him the best of or the benefit of doubt to obviously coming through and really foot the boots of Toni Kroos. And I start up with a question: do you think Jude Bellingham can foot or can fit the boots of Toni Kroos, or do you think cannot even lace the boots of Toni Kroos? Then I want to see your thoughts about the man himself, that is Unai Emery, confident of signing Ross Barkley at Villa. And your thoughts finally onto the big story of the day that I was going to hit to lead this story that I'm going to hit to record today as my second video on Arteta putting Fabio Vieira on sale. What do you make about it? Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. And I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And may the living to God bless you abundantly. We out. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. Second video of the day. In 2 hours from now, we are going to be here discussing more stories. Second video. Another one is coming in through.